If you're trying to scale your ads right now, you're most likely in this situation where the moment that you increase the ad spend, the return on ad spend decrease. And so in this video, I want to show you how we were able to scale this brand that you see right now in the screen from 100 a day up to 10,000 a day in revenue while maintaining a very healthy 4.21x return on the ad spend. I will show you exactly the strategy and the system that we have used, starting from the offer strategy, creative strategy, ad strategy, as well as Google ad strategy that we implemented for this specific brand in order to reach the results that you have seen. And a little disclaimer here, we are able to generate these results because we are in the game, we run ads every day, we spend over $1 million every month in ads, and so we know exactly what works, what doesn't, and so we know how to reach these results. But my hope with this video is showing you the exact strategy that we used so you can reach similar results to the one that I've just shown you. So let me jump on my screen and I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. As you can see, guys, we were able to reach 100x growth for these e-commerce brands. As you can see directly from the Shopify dashboard in here, the brand was making around $100 a day in July 2025. Not just a one day thing, it's a daily revenue in July 2025. Then we start helping these e-commerce brands in August, and in December, this is December 2025, we were able to generate the results that you see. 14th of December, 10,000 a day, 13th of December, 8.5, then is 12th of December, 9.5k, and then 11th of December, 8k, and then 10th of December, 9k again, and then 9th of December, 12k. So as you can see, guys, this is something, it's not just a lucky day, because a lot of people show you how to scale to 10k a day, and then at the end of the day, it's just one lucky day. And also what I want you to understand is that this didn't happen during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because Cyber Monday actually ended on the 1st of December, and we were able to get these results after the 1st of December. So the results that I'm showing you are not inflated by Black Friday and Cyber Monday data. Here as well, these were the comments coming from the client itself. So basically they were telling us to decrease the ad spend because they were not able anymore to fulfill all the orders with the amount that we were spending. And so we could have spent even more than 2k per day, up to I think even like 5 to 10k a day, while maintaining a very, very high return on the ad spend. But unfortunately the client didn't have the actual production capacity to sustain the amount of orders and volumes that were coming in. And so we have decided to keep the spend between 1 to 2k per day. At the end of the day, the spend was around 2k, yeah, this is basically overall what happened. Let me now jump into the ads results so I can show you guys that this is actually real. This is a screen recording refreshing the dashboard. As you can see, this is from the 1st to the 15th of December, and we spent 20k with a 79, almost 80k revenue and a 3.65 return on the ad spend on Meta. While on Google, we spent 2k with a 17k revenue, which is a 8.24x return on the ad spend. And so the blended data is basically this one that you see. So we spent 23k in total mid-month with a 97k in revenue and a 4.21x return on the ad spend. So let me dig right now into the strategy and I can show you exactly how I did it. First thing first, the ads results aren't just coming from a creative testing and optimization, but also from the offer strategy. I want to show you exactly what I mean. So the reason why we were able to generate this kind of growth is because we were basically be able to understand the best offer strategy for this brand, the best ad strategy, and the best creative strategy. These three things combined allow us to generate 100x growth. Now, the problem is that a lot of people are just focusing on ads. That's why they can't scale their brand and the ROAS is always low. Most of the time, the results that you see inside the ads manager, so the overall return on ad spend, is a consequence of the offer that you build, because the performance that you can bring from the ads is not just about the ad constructor, it's also the creative strategy, but it's also the offer. The offer is very, very, very important. I would say that like 40% is the offer, 40% is the creative strategy, and 20% is probably the ad account structure, because nowadays with Meta Andromeda you can have a simple CBO set up and you can generate amazing results just with this simple ad account structure. Let me actually jump into the main topic of the video. So offer strategy, the first thing that we did was trying to optimize the AOV, because the AOV was very, very low in July. It was only 36. We were able to increase it just by 27% in December. So as you can see here, in December we were able to get a 41 almost US dollar in AOV. But the biggest thing that we were able to do was increase the conversion rate. As you can see, guys, the conversion rate had a huge increase by 572%, which is crazy, guys. As you can see here, it was only 1% in July, and then we took this to 5.89%. And the only reason why we were able to do this is because we revamped the entire Shopify store, we revamped the entire landing pages, product pages, and everything. And thanks to this, we were able to increase the conversion rate by 572%. So guys, understand that it's not just about the actual ads, but it's also about the landing page and how optimized your actual website is. The more optimized that is, the highest the conversion rate will be, the highest the return on ad spend will be, because you're basically going to convert more of the traffic that you bring to your website with the actual ads. Now, let me jump into the meta ad strategy. So the meta ad strategy is actually very important because it's basically the main channel that we use to scale this brand. And as you can see, 40% of the impact on the performance was driven by the ad account structure. I'm going to explain you why. And 60% of the performance of meta ad itself was coming from the creative strategy, offer aside. And the percentage from the ad account structure is very high in this case, because usually I'm more conservative about this, but in this case the impact that we were able to get coming from the ad account structure was very, very high, because we were basically able to increase a lot the predictability coming from the ads. So we were basically able to increase the ad spend while maintaining a very, very high return on the ad spend, because the client literally told us, I want to keep a ROAS above 3. And so we will only be able to scale if the ROAS was above 3. And so we had to adapt a specific ad account structure that could meet this requirement. That's why I always say that there is not a unique ad account structure that you need to copy from whatever else you see on YouTube, but you need to build your own ad account structure based on your business goals and your specific KPIs. Now, let me jump in this ad account structure. So in this case, we basically had a simple testing ABO campaign with different ad set. Each different ad set was basically a creative batch, and then inside each single ad set, we had a batch of creatives. Now, these creatives here were focusing specifically on a topic, on a macro angle, I would say, on a theme. So in this case, we adopted this specific strategy. Now, what actually is important to mention here? We did not exclude any existing customers. And before you start thinking that Meta is going to spend a lot of budget into existing customers, that is not true. I will show you why in a second. So you do not have to exclude existing customers, but you must add the audience list inside engaged and existing customers, because this allows Meta to work as a full funnel advertising platform. Because right now, after Andromeda and after Gem, Meta act as a full funnel system advertising platform. So basically, if you don't tell Meta what is your top of funnel audience, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel audience, Meta doesn't know how to distribute content around your funnel. And that's why this is very important. So you need to make sure that basically you're using dynamic Klaviyo and synced list with the Meta ad account and Meta audiences. Another thing that I want to mention here, which I see a lot of people make these kind of very simple mistakes, is that a lot of people think that engaged audience is existing customers, but guys, engaged audience are still new customers, and these are the most important audience that you have, because these people already engaged with your website and everything. And so if you exclude these people from your ads, you're gonna waste a huge return on the ad spend. And these are still new customers. And they're not just new customers, but they're new customers that are most likely to convert because they're more down the funnel. So there is no reason why you guys should exclude these people, or you should split different campaigns by different ad sets, by excluding different audiences and everything. You want Meta to allocate the budget towards new customers, engaged audience, based on the maximum amount of scalability and the return on ad spend that you can actually get. And the only way that you can do this is by not excluding any audience. The only thing that you might want to do, if you want to, is exclude only existing customers. So just to mention that existing customers are people that have made at least one order on your website. You can exclude these people only if you see the Meta tends to spend a lot of budget, but usually, and as I will show you again very soon in this video here, Meta is not going to spend a lot of budget into existing customers, because Meta knows exactly that if if it's gonna spend a lot of money to existing customers, there is no way you can scale. There is no way that this is not going to be sustainable, and Meta knows that, and Meta doesn't want you to stop advertising on the platform. Meta, of course, wants you to keep giving them money because it's a business, they need to make money, right? So Meta is never going to spend all of your budget into existing customers. Otherwise, you will stop advertising and they will fail, right? After this one is hopefully clarified, let me jump into the other things. So we only use broad targeting, no interest, no gender, no age, no exclusion, all placement. For those who say, if you don't exclude existing customer from your ads, they will spend most of the budget towards existing audience and engaged audience. Now, first thing to say, again, engaged audience are still new customers. They have only engaged with your brand. And guess what? As I mentioned, those are the most important people to target because they are close to buying. Okay. Second thing to mention, Meta Andromeda has a full funnel distribution, so Meta will almost never spend more than 10% of your budget, daily budget or monthly budget, towards existing customers. And third, you want Meta to leverage data from existing and engaged audience to find new audience. That's why you don't want to exclude these people, and you don't want to split this into different campaigns or different ad sets. If you split the campaigns, Meta is not going to be able to leverage the data and the inputs that come from engaged audience that are the ones that are giving the most high quality data to the algorithm while learning in order to better improve the targeting when Meta start targeting new audience. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, and I don't understand why. Okay, so guys, please try to avoid. The only thing that you can do, the only thing is exclude existing customers only if you see the Meta spending a lot of budget towards these people. And again, this is the example literally from this case study here. This month, 1st of December until 15th of December, as you can see, we were able to generate a 3.20x ROAS in incremental attribution, by the way, so a lot of people don't show this. And as you can see, guys, the spending 18k over 21k is coming from new audience, and so only 3.6% was spent towards existing customers. You can see only $700 and almost $800 out of 21.7k was spent towards existing customers. Remember, this is very, very, very important. Now, what happened after this? We were basically finding winning ads coming from this setup, okay? So once we were identifying winning ads, and by the way, what you want to do here in the ad set level, you want to have, in this case, we're only using one headline and one primary text because we already found the best angle that was working, so we scaled this specific angle. And we linked to each specific ad creative, the most relevant page to that ad creative. All AI enhancement off. This is actually very important. All site links off, all catalogs off, because otherwise Meta is going to just start driving people to different destinations. You want to make sure that Meta is driving people to the best destination that is going to give you the highest return on the ad spend. Because if you do this, Meta probably can send traffic to the About Us page, but that page is not going to convert, guys. So this is very important that also the site links are off. Now, we're basically simply copy pasting the best performing ads, of course using the post ID inside the scaling CBO bid cap campaign. And the reason why we were doing a scaling CBO bid cap campaign is because the client really wanted to keep a return on ad spend minimum target of 3. And so what we did, we basically find the best cap that was be able to bring us a return on ad spend above 3. We tested different cost cap and we were able to generate this kind of results. I've made a video where I explain exactly the bid cap strategy that we have used, so I highly recommend you to check the video as well. And then third, we had an offer campaign, so a campaign that we were launching on the site the moment that we were running specific offers. So for instance, buy one get one free, 10% off, 15% off. Every time there is an offer, we were basically just adding a separate campaign, single ad set, all 10, 15, 20 creatives inside a single ad set regarding the specific offer that we were running. About the scaling CBO bid cap, we were basically only using the winning bid cap, one ad set, same structure as above, no exclusion. We were using the winning bid cap that were able to give us the 3x return on the ad spend, and we were only using 8 winning ads in total for this specific brand, and we kept this running for over a month, and the performance, as you saw already, were amazing. And then the last campaign is the offer campaign. one ad's the same setup as above, all the ads. Feel free to mix videos and statics to create a full funnel sequence, because what you want to do here, you want to respect what Gem is doing. Gem and Meta Andromeda, they are showing content in a sequence in order to maximize the user journey, which is something that actually is going to bring conversion, so the actual return on the ad spend. So if you create ads only for a specific stage, of the journey, overall the return on ad spend is not going to be good. That's why putting all the ads inside a single ad set with a specific journey in your mind on the ads when you create different messages and everything is going to help the overall ROAS of the ad account and the ad set, not the specific single ad creative. At the end of the day, you want to have a high return on ad spend on the entire ad account, not on the single ad creative, okay? Then the creative strategy is actually very important in this case, because in the creative strategy we basically follow 3 different phases, and the creative strategy was the main thing that we were able to use and leverage in order to find the best winning content that then we duplicated inside the scaling CBO bid cap campaign. So phase 1, in this phase 1 what we did, we basically did 4 main things: competitor research, market research, social listenings, and organic analysis. And out of this we were basically creating the creative strategy. So the way that it works, you do all this research, competitor research on the ads, comments, Amazon reviews, market research, Reddits, different forums, Facebook groups again, social listening, reading comments on social medias, on the brand account, on the competitor account, organic analysis, analyzing all the organic engagement of specific content that the brand was already putting inside their social media. And after you have all this data, you go to the phase 2. So you phase 2, what you do, after you have all the data, you start by creating hypotheses, and you basically need to ask yourself what type of content works best based on the research that we've just done. What type of messages works best based on the research that we've just done. Once you have hypotheses based on this, you create ads based on the hypotheses that you've just basically noted down. And then what you want to do, you want to test the ads inside a specific ad set, which is actually what we did in this specific case. Sometimes we run a single CBO setup. In this case, we went for an ABO manual setup. And then we iterated on the best winning ads. Then we generate new hypotheses, and this is how we find multiple winning ads. And then after we have this, we go to the phase 3. Simply, we find winning ads and we create more of the winning ads that we have, and then we scale as much as possible within the CBO bid cap campaign. And also another channel that we used, as mentioned already, is Google Ads. And actually for Google Ads, we opted for a very, very simple and effective setup, which I always recommend for brands that are spending less than 10K a month. So basically what you want to do, just on Google Ads, of course, what you want to do, you want to have a simple brand search, set the goal as purchase, target presence in their location, not interest or presence, just make sure to do that. No negative keyword, of course, and then you want to do phrase plus exact keywords, low budget. These are most likely not incremental purchases, so you want to keep the budget as low as possible. And then you need to decide the budget to put in this campaign based on the percentage of absolute top impression loss by budget. Ideally, you want to keep the percentage of absolute top impression loss by budget less than or around 5%. But the main budget was actually spent towards the Performance Max, which is basically a shopping only campaign. All products inside, excluding the accessories. What we did, basically here, you can scale as much as possible until the ROAS is above your target, which is exactly what we did. We started with maximize conversion value, and then we switched to target ROAS and set the target ROAS to 50% above the target. So the target was 300%, we set 350%. And this is, guys, the example. So as you can see, this is the Performance Max. We spent 2K over here, and we generated a 5.81 return on the ad spend with a target ROAS bid strategy type. Alright guys, for this video that's basically it. Let me know if you have any question in the comments below this video. As usual, I do my best to reply to everyone. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next.